visual art is one way in which I tap into that greater isness, and there are a lot of other ways to do that as well. But this collection is pretty recent. I don't know if some of you have seen my art in the past. It was different. It held a lot of, I think, angst, and art is such an incredible catharsis. And so I've always used it as that and as a mirror for my own internal worlds. So I will keep this short. I don't want to talk a ton. And I was speaking with a confidant yesterday that's also very attuned to believing that the human body is our first instrument. Like, I believe that, you know, if we paint or we sing or we dance, that's secondary, or we play music. But our bodies are the primary instrument. And so I feel very dedicated to fine-tuning my antenna or my receiver to bring through communications that might, will certainly help me on my evolution, but can also provide signposts along the way for others, perhaps. And she was telling me, my friend, that she's a dancer, and she was in Denver, and there's a show right now that's called All the Stars We Cannot See. Has anybody heard of it? You have, Lisa? And it's a line of Aboriginal indigenous art. And this indigenous art is really, the Aborigines are really the only indigenous alignment, I'm gonna say, that is still here, unbroken. And so this art is pretty great, it's pretty interesting, very abstract. And you know, the indigenous believe that art in itself is a way to bring heaven to earth. Mark making, and you know, the Industrial Revolution is pretty recent. And it's when things are really going wonky. But mark making wasn't ever for, I don't know, to match one's couch, you know, or to one up each other in competition, or concept, cutting concept. It was to bring something from the unseen into the seen. And there are no concepts in this work. Once I've created the work, that's when the communication comes for me. It teaches me. And I never have an idea of what I'm gonna do. So it comes through step by step. Once one mark is there, another appears, and I trace it. And I build on that. And that becomes, for me, a philosophy for my life. So it's more of a practice, right, rather than a product. And I would say that this collection of work is really the first time that I've cared enough about my art to go slow enough to let it be here, to let it be. Just let it be. This is the first collection of really allowing it. And yeah, I think I've had a tough go of things, and my art, I used to really try to, I would do it and then I would destroy it. And there was something about not wanting to be identified with the product. I don't want to see this. There's a lot of pushing away. And I'm finally in a place in my life, I think getting older is really lovely, where I can love my art. I actually feel emotional. And unwrap the shame of what I naturally create effortlessly. Because I'll just say that this is me not trying. This is the effortlessness. And I think it sounds really simple, but it's really profound to really be a hollow bone. And all of the work that's taken. And it's so lovely to see so many people here in the community. And I believe in symbols. And I believe in dreams. I believe in learning from our dreams and making the unconscious conscious. That's the great work. And I can only do that for myself. And you can only do that for yourself. And so how do we do that together alongside each other? So a lot of these images, please read the artist statement, and the titles are actually my favorite part of them. I love the titles so much. So please make sure to check out the titles. And I'll just end with, I feel a lot of grief around the atrophy of the inner world in humanity. And the tending to the inner world. We tend so much to the outside world, and what it takes to really tend to the inner world. I'd love to normalize that, and to help each other and support each other to doing that, and what the mess of that what it looks like together. And I feel that if we can balance out, really tend to our inner worlds and listen to our dreams and dream a new dream onto this planet, because we're that powerful together, I really think things could be fun here. I still practice yoga, but my movement practice has moved into freedom yoga, very wild. But my yoga teacher, Eric Schiffman, that was one of the ones that brought yoga to the West through the Desikachar lineage. He said that the chair is the #1 cause of death. And I just say that because we live so narrow. We live so narrow. Like sometimes I feel like I'm in a straitjacket, and I have to learn. I want to learn how to open that up. How do we open that up? I might have to go first. And you'll see me running downtown dancing along. No straitjacket for me. But how do we undo that? How do we deprogram? And how do we, I used to see, I'll just end with this. I used to see a lot of people in town. I used to do a lot of healing work. And I just have to say, almost every person would come and say, I can tell you this, you won't think I'm crazy. Yeah. You won't think I'm crazy, I can tell you this. And I'm sitting there seeing a lot, I'm like, we all gotta just tell each other what's going on. So I feel like you're incarnated to help dissolve walls and break down chains and release programs and such. And I'm just so grateful to the land of Idlewild and the community of Idlewild that can even wants to hear that. So yeah, I'm curious to, these are vibratory pieces, and the more that I let go, they're going to become even more vibrational. And so as you view them, just also feel into your heart. So the heart is like this incredible field. It's actually not a pump, it's an oscillation device. It actually is a field that it's incredible extra sensory perception. And there's a lot around our hearts and a lot that needs to be felt. But if you can just drop into your feeling as you read the titles and such, and just, we really live in a society that, the real war is on feelings. There's a war on feelings. The war is against feeling. And so feelings are different than emotions. So, it's like the feelings. So just, view them through your eyes and through your heart and through your feeling. And thank you so much for being here. And I hope to bring something else through. I think that's it. Does anyone have any questions, comments, thoughts?